Georgia, Florida, cocktail party, but that seems like a game that's
one-sided.
Pretty much decided already, though I did see that Jacksonville is going to be hosting the cocktail party for at least 2 more years through 2025. Auburn, Mississippi, Kentucky, Mississippi State, 2 of the good games in the SEC this weekend. Let's talk about that with Bill King, the king of college football talk, on Nashville Sports Radio 6 to 9, Monday through Friday. Bill, how you doing on this Wednesday?
Hey, guys. I was just telling your caller there, I wasn't answering the phone because it kept saying Norway. I'm not kidding.
Norway?
He's calling. His phone's from Norway, and he doesn't know it.
I had no
phone
idea.
line from Norway are you using?
Bill, you don't realize this. We are huge in Norway. The Razorbacks have a pocket of fans up there. Yeah, in Oslo. It's a very popular
We
thing.
actually do a third hour in Norwegian. Like, we only do 2 hours in the States, but we do a whole extra hour just in their native tongue.
That's right. That blows me away. We've had some issues with the text line.
Yeah, that's
so
weird.
maybe there's some Norwegian family up there by the that's looking at the Aurora Borealis and getting texts from Chris in Fayetteville and B in Clarksville and wondering where the heck are these coming from. Bill, they say it's a light weekend in the SEC, but I do see a couple of games I think should be really good. Mississippi Auburn is a really good game, especially with that game being played in Jordan-Hare Stadium. Both teams are coming in sort of hot. I think Kentucky Mississippi State is a sneaky good game. So you got a lot of teams off this weekend, but still some good football. What do you think on Mississippi versus Auburn? I know Auburn's favored, but right now, it looks like the Rebels, as long as Matt Corral is able to stay healthy and not take 30 hits, I could see them picking up a victory on the Plains. What about you?
To me, this game's more about Auburn. I think I've got Ole Miss figured out. They're a good football team, as we know. But Auburn, I've seen 2 sides to them. Now, they're playing their better ball now, and maybe they found their rhythm. I'm open to that. But that's probably more of my measurement with that game going in.
We saw Bo Nix at his absolute best against the Arkansas Razorbacks, and the broadcasts made sure to point that out. Part of the reason was that he never had to run for his life. The Mississippi pass rush is going to be huge about that, but it does look like Bo Nix has definitely advanced as a quarterback this year. What have you seen when you watch him this year?
I know they were talking about it on the broadcast, but I think that's the best I've seen him play. I've seen flashes of him. He's kind of a really, really, really poor man's version of Johnny Manziel, right? I mean, he's not nearly in that category, but he's kind of reckless like that. He
Elusive,
runs around. Yeah. But he's hot and cold. He's consistently hot and cold. And I'd almost given up on him early in the year. This is year 3. But again, he's found himself here, and I just want to see if they can maintain this.
That's going to be the interesting part of it. How well can Bo Nix maintain? And one coaching staff that's trying to maintain and trying to hold on right now for dear life, it's got to feel like it's Dan Mullen in Florida. Going into the cocktail party this week, Georgia's going to be runaway favorites, I think. But does Dan Mullen somehow and those Florida Gators pull out somewhat of a performance like they did against Alabama earlier this season and keep it close? Or does Georgia continue its dominance and just shut everybody down?
This game has all the ingredients of Florida playing way up. And I don't think it'll be enough to win the game, but I wouldn't be shocked if they play well. They've got 3 losses now. Everybody's piling on Dan Mullen. Everybody's piling on their defensive coordinator, Todd Grantham. There's the quarterback debate, Anthony Richardson, and the Emory kid. So it's going to be Emory Jones. It's going to be interesting, but I think they play up in this game. I really do.
Another big game this week, probably the biggest game, big noon kickoff on Fox, Michigan versus Michigan State, both undefeated, both in the top 10. If Jim Harbaugh and the Wolverines pull it out, would this be the biggest win of the Jim Harbaugh era at Michigan?
Considering he's never beaten Ohio State.
Up to this point, yeah.
Right. Now, early on, 2016, they beat the Penn State team that ended up winning the league. Penn State started that year losing to Pittsburgh and then getting killed by Michigan. And then they end up beating Ohio State, winning the league, and Ohio State went over them in the playoffs, if you'll remember, despite the head-to-head. Oh, I don't think Sparty's good enough to afford, Harbaugh's 7 years there. That's their best win. I don't know if Michigan State's good enough to claim that. By the way, the running back, Kenneth Walker, who's the best performing running back in America for Michigan State, is a Memphis area kid.
I did not know that.
I don't know. Yeah, and he's the best. I don't know if he's the most draftable, but he's the best back in football right now, in college football. He's from Arlington, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Went to Wake Forest, and then Michigan's got a bunch of transfers. He's one of them. So he left Wake to go there. Of course, Wake is flirting with undefeated, too, right now. So,
what do you think on a Heisman right now? It seemed Matt Corral was the front runner. Maybe Bryce Young. Bryce Young is still involved in that. Kenny Pickett from Pitt is getting a lot of pub as he's taken Pitt to a number 17 ranking. But it's not cut and dry right now at all. I mean, this really still feels very much up in the air. And I don't know if there is a front runner right now.
And I think look, if he keeps piling on the stats, C.J. Stroud is in there too from Ohio State.
What do you make of the ACC this year? It's always been, well, not always, it's been Clemson's league for so long. You just forget that anybody else is there. But when you look at the top of the standings and you just have to chuckle a little bit. I mean, Pitt, who I'm a fan of, but it's weird to see them at the top of a conference in any league, and Wake Forest atop the ACC Atlantic. Like, this is it's a bad year for the ACC, but it really feels like it is because
most years are bad.
Clemson just isn't any good. But is this like the regular ACC, just without Clemson being any good?
It's just flat. And Dave Clawson has done a very good job. So this is not meant as an affront to what he's done. He's done an excellent job there. But that would never be allowed to happen in the SEC. Teams like that could never rise to the top in the SEC. But in the ACC, they could. And, Northwestern's made some a Big Ten championship game here more recently. Northwestern is not very good since then. But, yeah, I think it says more about the overall ACC. And the big debate I'm catching really started this week is, Bill, what do you think if they go undefeated? Are they in? Would they get in over Cincinnati? And I think they might, because they're in a Power 5 league, regardless of how good the league is.
Let's see, the schedule left for Wake is Duke, North Carolina, NC State, Clemson, and BC.
Yeah, they can win all of those pretty easy.
And if Alabama plays one of them, would beat them by 50 probably in the semifinal game.
Bill, last thing, Tennessee gave Alabama a little bit of a scare before that fourth quarter this past Saturday. And they've shown some signs this year under Josh Heupel in the first year, and just looking on their schedule, the one game left that really should unnerve them would be playing against Georgia, but they also get Kentucky in Lexington. So I'm not quite sure what to make about the end of the schedule here for Tennessee. But I mean, they've taken, it feels like, a step forward this year under Josh Heupel, don't you think?
They could get to 6-6, but I think, normally wouldn't be much, but I think that would be a success. It's a dilapidated roster. I think they have extracted every bit that they could out of this team. And it looks like they're having fun again. When's the last time you saw Tennessee, even under Butch Jones and those 9-win teams? I'm not sure I noticed everybody having fun. Looks like everybody's having fun. They've got to stock the roster, guys, and that's obviously recruiting. And that hasn't flipped. The number one player in America, Walter Nolan, is now in school up there at Powell in Knoxville. Be a really big hit if they could keep him home, but they got to go out and get some players.
All right, well, we'll leave it there, man. Appreciate you hopping on with us as always, and we'll make sure maybe next week we'll have a phone number from Denmark just to keep you off balance.
Afghanistan, that's the one I want.
All right, we'll work on it.
That'll really keep you off balance, that's for sure.
We're back and better than ever. A new web interface to start the basketball season and more props, odds, and lines than ever before. BetOnline remains your number one spot for all basketball and football action this season. Head to the new updated desktop or mobile website to sign up today and receive your 50% welcome bonus on your first deposit. Just use our promo code BELIEVE50 to receive your bonus. That's BLEAV 50 to receive your bonus. From basketball, football, and baseball postseason, NHL, boxing, and UFC, right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Don't wait to take advantage of all the amazing offers available for the 2021 season. BetOnline is the fastest and easiest way to bet on all your favorite sports. BetOnline, where the game starts.